Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope all of you have been doing good. This is the weekly market update live stream. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to it, and please make sure to like the live stream. Also, if you're not following me over Twitter, 𝗟𝘅𝗶𝗵𝗵, this is my Twitter handle. I occasionally share market updates and calls over my Twitter account as well. So please make sure that you are following this Twitter handle, 𝗟𝘅𝗶𝗵𝗵. And if you would like to receive more organized updates and calls, you can always join in the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. In fact, all of the links you would find in the description of this video. The exchange that I use for my calls, it's a BLOFIN exchange. You can also claim a free 15-day premium subscription of Foxian if you register with our referral link on BLOFIN. All you have to do is just deposit $100 or more, or if you already have an account with BLOFIN, you can simply just join the Discord server and give us your UID, and we will simply just activate the premium subscription for you. This is the easiest possible way that you can have the premium subscription. You wouldn't really have to spend any single penny, and you can have it for free. All the market updates, insights, calls, everything is shared in the Discord server. So yeah, it would be a really good idea to give Discord server a try. Once again, please make sure to like the live stream. All right, let's start the stream. And before I move on to the market update part, first of all, let me just quickly, give an update on the positions that we have open. The first one is Morph USDT. This position we have open. We already took the first TP on this position. Stop loss has been moved to break even. This one already gave almost a 6%, 7% move. We have a nice daily time frame trendline breakout. So yeah, this is the first position that we are in, but stop loss for this position has already been moved to break even. The second long position that we have open is on 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀. This one is a slightly risky one because price is trading right under the 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. Then we have the TVEM band as well. So that is why it's a slightly risky position, but still, if still we have this descending trend line breakout, meaning that if Bitcoin happens to give a breakout above this trend line that you can see on the screen, we have a similar kind of trend line on the Bitcoin chart as well. If we have a trend line breakout, you know on this chart, on the Bitcoin chart, then most likely the altcoins are also going to have these trend line breakouts. So that is why we have this position open on 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀. But still, it's trading right under the 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. We have seen one or two rejections already at 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. So that is why it's completely on you. If you wish to take this position, you can do so. But yeah, I have a few other coins also added into my watch list. One position for which the limits have already been given is on LDO. The limits have been dropped in my Discord server and plus on my Twitter account as well. You can take a look at this call. Storage is also at the entry price, meaning that if you wish to enter into this position, you can do so. It's just slightly above the entry point, and then you have the DCA at around 2494, 0.2494, and the stop loss is a hard stop loss at 0.2368. So yeah, storage and LDO, these positions, for LDO the limits have been placed, and for storage this one is running at risk. We have not closed it. This one more stop loss has already been moved to break even. We have this daily trend line breakout happening. uh, I am thinking about opening, one or two more long positions, especially considering that we already have moved the stop loss to break even for storage coin. Sorry, for more. I am thinking about opening one more long position, but I'm just trying to search for the coin. I'm just trying to find a good setup that has a good trend line breakout, one which is trading above a certain support level, and specifically the one that is trading above the 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. Because the problem with some of these coins, the problem with most of these setups, including Bitcoin also, you can see that Bitcoin has been struggling to break above 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. We just had a 4-hour candle close above 1-day 12-period exponential moving average, which is a good thing. You can see that we had the rejection, and then finally we have one 4-hour candle close above 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. But still, a few important pieces are missing in this whole thing. I would explain all of those things later on. But yeah, this is the Bitcoin chart. You can see that if you take a look at it on the higher time frame, or the daily time frame, you can see that We have the first trend line rejection, then we have the second one, then we have the third one, and then there is the fourth one happening. Let's see if we have any breakout above this trend line. But I was constantly pointing out that if we have the 4-hour candle close above this region, above 116.5k, then we can comfortably go long. But another important point is that price is literally sitting right at this trend line, meaning that if we have a trend line breakout, that would simply just act as an extra confluence, and it's going to be uh, a very good long position. I'm actually thinking about getting into this long position as soon as we have at least a small candle close, maybe just a 1-hour candle close above this trend line. ATG is saying, can you turn volume up on your end? I have mine at maximum and can barely hear you. Everything seems to be working fine at my end. Mic is working fine. Please let me know in the chat box if you guys are having any issues with the mic, because everything seems to be working fine at my end. Um, there is no other setting that I can play around with. Everything is at maximum. Volume is at maximum already. If you guys have any issues with the audio, please make sure to let me know in the chat box. All is good, no issues. Yeah, it's probably something with your it's probably something with your setup. Everything seems to be working fine at my end. Okay, so we have price breaking above this resistance level. First of all, let's just try to volume output is pretty low. Uh, I don't know what could be the reason for this. Everything is working fine at my end. Let me see if I can change anything, but all good on my end. So if you guys are having any issues with the audio, it's probably something at your end, because volume output at my end is just fine. This is the same thing. This is the same setup that I usually stream with. So yeah, there is no issue uh at my end. Okay, so I was saying that price just had a 4-hour candle close above 116.5k level. Uh Now it's smaller and not as I literally did not do anything. I I did not even do anything. Uh Everything is just same at my end. Everything seems to be working fine at my end once again, so I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Please let me know if you guys are still having any issues with the audio. If it's too low. Yeah, I don't think there is any issue at my end. Audio seems to be working fine. Okay, so I was saying that we were waiting for the one date. We were waiting for the candle close above 116.5k level, and that candle close just happened. But I would just show you in a little while why exactly I'm not taking any long position. One reason is obviously this descending trend line. We know that, uh, on the 4-hour time frame chart, yes, this trend line formation has been fully confirmed. We have the first one, then we have the second one, then we have the third one, but still we are trading under this trend line. So yeah, ideally speaking, you should be waiting for a small candle close, at least a 4-hour candle close above this trend line to further confirm that okay, a breakout is happening. But more so, I'm concerned about the stable.c.d chart, which I would be showing you later on. And this is exactly why you should have like 2 or 3 correlated charts, which you can take a look at and reach the same conclusion. If you're planning to take a long position on Bitcoin, it's not just going to be the Bitcoin chart. You would have to, further confirm this long position from a few other correlated charts as well. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, yes, we have a 4-hour candle close, but this candle barely closed above 116.5k. If I look at the closing price for this candle, the closing price for this candle is 116.5k, which is a good thing, but price barely closed above this level. So I would still like to I would still wait for price to just give a decisive close above this level, or maybe wait for something like this in which price would go down to this 1-day 12 period exponential moving average and then simply just move on like this. So this is something that I'm waiting for. But my main concern is that if you go to the daily time frame chart, you would notice that this trend line formation, this was the first rejection, this was the second rejection, and this is going to be the third rejection. You can consider this one also as the third rejection point for this trend line, but still, this one would be a much better choice. And if you consider this one as the third trend line rejection, third point of rejection, then you would notice that there has, the trend line formation is just getting confirmed, which means that even if it's a small rejection, you would need some sort of, downside move at this point, and only then the trend line formation would be confirmed, and only then you would be comfortable taking a long position, based on this trend line. So on the 4-hour time frame chart, I would say that the trend line formation has been confirmed, but on the daily time frame chart, the trend line formation is not completely confirmed, meaning that you would need some sort of a rejection at this trend line region, and only then this trend line formation would be confirmed. The second most important point is that, 116.5K is the resistance level on the Bitcoin chart. And obviously you would need a candle close above 116.5K level to further confirm that, okay, this is actually a good trade. But we barely had a 4-hour candle close above 116.5K resistance level, which means that it's not really going to be a good uh it's not really going to be a good decision if you are going long right now, because we barely had a close above 116.5K level. So I would prefer waiting a little bit. I would prefer to wait a little bit and maybe wait for a move down to 1-day 12 period exponential moving average, some sort of a retest around here, a successful retest to further confirm that, okay, this region, this dynamic line has been fully reclaimed, so that I'm more comfortable taking a long position at this point on Bitcoin. But you guys already know this thing, that whenever I'm taking a long position in Bitcoin, I'm less concerned with the Bitcoin chart and more concerned with the USDT dominance and the stable.c.d chart. So this is all the information that you would get from the Bitcoin chart. Just a quick recap of the things that have happened in the past few days. The last time when we did the live stream, we were in a short position at that time. If you guys remember, we took a short position. In fact, we took one long position at this level, then we took another long position at this level. Both of those long positions were successful ones. And when price was breaking below this higher time frame support level, that's when we took the short position. That also was a successful short position. And we were able to catch the move from 115.5K all the way down to 112K. That is where we took our third TP. Okay, and then the position got stopped break even. Only 25% position was running at that time. But my plan initially, okay, from last week, if you would go and watch that last live stream we did last week, my plan initially was to simply just wait for price on the Bitcoin chart to drop back down to this higher time frame support. Okay, and remember this thing, that even if there is no support around here, this region was still supposed to act as a good bounce region. This region was still supposed to act as a region where price most likely would be bouncing off at. The reason is because you had the previous all-time high at this level. Okay, I think I already have explained this in some of the previous live streams also, that the definition of a level, call it a support or resistance in general, is that if you have 3 rejections at a certain level, you would call it a resistance level. And if, let's suppose, price breaks above this level, it would simply just be termed as a support level. And that is how supports could be flipped into resistance, and resistances could be flipped into support. But let's just say that you just have one rejection at a certain point. This is the all-time high, for any financial asset chart. Okay, not just any random rejection, but the all-time high. And let's just say that there is no further rejection and price simply just breaks above this level. Now, if you go by the definition of support or resistance, this is not a support level, okay? Because in order to call this level a support, you need to have at least 3 possible rejections, and only then you would say that, okay, this resistance now flipped into a support. But at this point, you only have one rejection, which was in the form of a all-time high. Okay, I've explained this, I remember, almost 6-7 months ago, on the PEP chart as well, that this region would now be acting as a good higher time frame support. Whenever price would go back down to retest this level once again, there are chances that you are going to see some sort of a bounce at this level, because this is the previous all-time high, this is the last all-time high. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Make sure to keep this in mind, that the previous all-time highs, they always act as strong support levels. Same was the case with 73,000 level as well. You can see that, this was a 73,000 level. Price had the previous all-time high around 73,000, 74,000. We had a break above this level, then we came back down to retest this level, and that was a very good long opportunity. Same is the case with this level also, 100 and 112k level. And I was pointing this out in the last live stream also, that whenever price would go back down to retest 112k level, that is going to be a very good long opportunity. But for some reason, I am more than happy to admit that I completely missed out on that opportunity. Although I was able to catch three good short long trades, two good long trades and one good short trade in a row, but still, for some reason I missed out on this opportunity. First of all, because I usually try not to look at charts on weekend. I just try to take a day off on Saturday specifically. And secondly, because USDT dominance fell 0.1% short of its resistance. So if you would go and watch that live stream, I was pointing out that, whenever Bitcoin would drop back down to 112k level, I would like to see USDT dominance retesting the 4.64 or 4.62, 4.63 resistance level. But USDT dominance only tapped 4.61, or I guess 4.60. That was the high for USDT dominance. It fell 0.1% short of its resistance level. So I had just one confluence missing, and because of that confluence, I was not able to get into this long position on Bitcoin, which in fact was a very good long position in my opinion. And you can see that the previous all-time high was at 112,000, and price perfectly retested the 112,000 region, and just gave a move upside. Now, a lot many of you have been asking me already that I was mentioning 110k level. I was mentioning that there could be a move down to 112k level. A lot many of you have been asking, is it still possible? Yes, it's quite possible. Okay, because that 110k level, first of all, USDT dominance. Now let's take a look at USDT dominance chart, because there is a lot of things to explain on USDT dominance chart. Uh, this is the USDT dominance chart, and you can see that this is the resistance level that I had drawn on my chart, and price fell. The high on the USDT dominance chart back on Sunday, 3rd of August, was 4.61%, and our resistance was starting at 4.63%. So 0.2%, it basically fell short 0.2% of this resistance level that we had drawn. I was simply just waiting for price to give one small wick into this resistance level, because I wanted to get the best possible entry for this position. But unfortunately, you can see that price just fell 0.2% short of this resistance level, and then just continued to move down. Now, uh, we were expecting price to give some sort of a bounce around here. This is what exactly happened. Price bounced at this higher time frame support, then 1 day 12 period exponential moving average, and then there was a small bounce, and then finally we had a break below this trend line. I was pointing this out in my market updates also, that because there is a trend line, because there is an ascending trend line, so that is why there is going to be a break towards downside. Okay, so remember that wherever there is a trend line, there is always a breakout or breakdown, whatever you would like to call it. You cannot deny that. As soon as you draw a trend line, and I'm more than happy that people usually do not talk about trend lines, and I was initially not able to spot this trend line, and one of the members in our Discord server pointed this out in my channel, that there is an ascending trend line on the USDT dominance chart. And then I noticed it, and then I realized that, okay, there is a decent chance, there is a good chance that USDT dominance would break below this trend line, considering that we had the first bounce, the second bounce, the third bounce, the fourth bounce, and the fifth bounce. At the time of fifth bounce, we had a break below. So it's a classic pattern. Break below trend line, came back up, retested the trend line, bearish retest, and then finally just had a move towards downside. And also a very classic pattern that we have discussed over and over again throughout these live streams, that the bounces at this trend line were looking extremely weak. So it was evident that sooner or later USDT dominance is about to have a break below this trend line, which exactly happened in this situation. And this is the doodle that I have drawn on my chart. Now, I'm not really sure if price would go back up to retest this level. Okay, you have to play it very carefully. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, now you can assume that looking at the Bitcoin chart, you still do not have a very decisive candle close above 116.5k level, meaning that it's best to just wait a little bit. But you know that we are very often looking at the USDT dominance chart to make these trading related decisions, and this is exactly what we did back on Sunday as well, when we should have We should have gone with that long position on Bitcoin, but unfortunately we did not do that because USDT dominance had not tapped this resistance level precisely. Although Bitcoin had already tapped that support level at 112K. But anyways, so if any if a move of this sort happens, if price on the USDT dominance chart, which you can see that similar sort of move happened around here as well. Price had a break below this higher time frame support level, flipped it into resistance, came back up, retested this resistance, and then had a move towards downside. So if something similar happened, then it's very likely that price could go back up to retest 1-day 12 period exponential moving average, which is now, by the way, acting as a resistance level. And same is the case with Bitcoin. This 1-day 12 period exponential moving average is now acting as support. So if you have a move downside at the US Open, at the New York Open, then this could be a decent long position for you. Okay. So wait for price on the Bitcoin chart. If you are looking to have a slightly risky long position, I would not say that it's a very, very risky long position, especially considering that price has made a very decent move, already trading above 1-day 12 period exponential moving average. And I'm, by the way, more confident looking at the USDT dominance chart than I am looking at the Bitcoin chart. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, things may look a bit shaky, but looking at the USDT dominance chart, you can see that this one is trading below 1-day 12 period exponential moving average, trading below this higher time frame 4-hour resistance level, meaning that if things go like this, if you have a move towards upside on the USDT dominance chart, we already have the alert set. I would wait for it, and I would love to take a long position on Bitcoin at that time. Going to be a slightly risky one, 70-30, I would say, but still, seems like a decent long position to me whenever price on the USDT dominance chart goes back up to this resistance level. Okay, so the next support is at 4.25. We can easily play this move. We can take a long position on Bitcoin when this retest happens, and then we can simply just take TP of that position as soon as price on the USDT dominance chart falls back down to 4.25% level, which is the higher time frame support in this case. Now the most important question, and Edward just dropped this question in the chat box also, that 110K, is it likely or not? Yes, it's likely. We have seen this in the previous situations as well. Like I can give you some of the previous examples also, that most of the times price on the USDT dominance chart would fall short of this resistance level, would go back down, retest some other levels, and then finally go back up to retest this higher time frame resistance. Now the most important point is that uh, you know our whole idea was based on the assumption that the first retest has not happened at 4.64, 4.63 resistance level on the USDT dominance chart. And we know that the first retest is always your single best opportunity to build a long or a short position, because this is going to be the first retest of such an important resistance level on the USDT dominance chart. So we would sell our house, we would sell our kidneys, and we would get into a long position on Bitcoin. So this was the whole idea at that time. Now, I'm still assuming, or at least this is my personal belief, that this was not a resistance retest. Price actually fell short of this level. No matter how you would like to draw this resistance, there have been instances where price, the highest rejection point was 4.61. I completely agree with this. You could slightly adjust the positioning of the resistance level, but still I somehow feel that this was not a complete retest. Now I could be wrong on this, because just like I showed you, you could slightly adjust this resistance level. There have been instances where the rejection point was simply just 4.61 and not 4.63, 4.62. And this is exactly the problem with these indices also, that you cannot predict the exact point. So if anything of that sort happens, I'm still confident that. And by the way, 60 plus people are watching the live stream. Only 15 of you have liked it. I would really appreciate if you could simply just subscribe to the YouTube channel and press the like button. I mean, it's not really going to take a lot of time. So I'm still hoping that a retest of 4.63% is pending. Okay, if a retest is pending, if this was not a retest, now you have to form this belief on the idea that whether the retest has happened or it's still pending. Because if the retest has already happened, then there is no reason that USDT dominance chart would have a move upside to 4.64% level. Okay, because it's completely meaningless. But my assumption is that there is a lot of unfinished business on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, and there is a lot of unfinished business on the USDT dominance chart. No matter how exactly you would like to interpret this move, this was not a complete retest of 4.63% level, meaning that even if we have a move downside, maybe we just go back down, take out this major swing low, there is still a decent chance that price could go back down to 108,000, 110,000, 109,000. This is my preferred range, meaning that Ethereum also, especially if you take a look at the ETH chart, you would notice that there have been so many instances where Ethereum had a move up to 3,900, then Ethereum fell back down to 3,500, 3,400, then had another leg up to 4,000 level, and then finally had a massive move down to 3,000 level. So this is a very, very common pattern with the Ethereum chart. And this is what I'm assuming, that on the Ethereum chart also, there could be, or most likely there is going to be, a fast move up to 4,000 level. Exactly what's happening right now. You can see that there was a massive deviation below this level. This was the deviation retest. Just like I always point out, this deviation retest is always a very good opportunity to build positions. So the deviation retest happened on the Ethereum chart, and then finally we are having this move towards upside. Now, I did not play this deviation move because I'm simply not interested in buying Ethereum. Uh, you know, uh, I would only be interested in buying Ethereum if we have a reclaim of 4,000 level, or if we have a retest of 3,000 level. So in my personal opinion, with the Ethereum chart also, there is a lot of unfinished business. There is a decent chance that we could have a move down to 3,000 level, because 3,000 level has not been retested. Same is the case with total 2. You can see that this level, $1.28 trillion level, has not been retested. Now, it's not like there is an obligation for price to go back and retest these levels that have not been retested before, but still, I somehow feel that this is not, this is still not the complete move. There is a lot of unfinished business for most of these charts. And Bitcoin, if I show you the Bitcoin chart, then for as long as this major swing high is completely intact, then nothing really would change. In this situation, you wouldn't really have to focus on the USDT dominance chart. The only information you are getting from the USDT dominance chart is that there is this resistance retest. If you think that this was not a complete retest, then this resistance retest is still pending, meaning that there is still a decent chance that USDT dominance would have a move up to 4.63, 4.64 resistance level, and that could be very good opportunity to get into a long position. Now, a very important point I would like to raise here is, the positioning of the Bitcoin, positioning of price on the Bitcoin chart when USDT dominance would go up to retest 4.64 resistance level. Now, you may have noticed that, during this whole move that happened back on weekend, price on the Bitcoin chart fell down to 112,000, and price on the USDT dominance chart fell 0.2% short of this resistance level. Whenever price on the USDT dominance chart would go back up to this resistance level back again, it does not mean that Bitcoin would necessarily be at 112,000 or 111,000 or 110,000. You cannot precisely predict that. And let me show you an example for this. Just because these two charts, Bitcoin and USDT dominance, just because these two charts are inversely or negatively correlated with each other, it does not mean that their movements are perfectly synchronized. A perfect example of this is that Bitcoin created a new all-time high in the month of March, precisely on 13th or 14th of March 2024. That is when USDT dominance created this new low back on 14th of March 2024. Then Bitcoin went on to create a new all-time high around 108,000. Now there is a huge difference between 73,000 and 108,000. But if you take a look at the USDT dominance chart was only back down to the same levels. This one did not create a new lower low massively, down from this point. Now, fast forward to the month of July, Bitcoin created a new high from 108,000 to 123,000. But USDT dominance is even far, far away from this low, which it created back in the month of December, or which is created back in the month of August. Now, Bitcoin has moved from 73,000 to 123,000, but USDT dominance has not even been able to breach this low, which was put back in the month of March 2024. So the point is that although these two charts, they're synchronized with each other, but it does not mean that the movements are perfectly synchronized. One creates a new low, the other one would also create a new low. No, that is not the case. And you can reach the same conclusion if you're looking at the Bitcoin chart. I mean, how many of you know this thing that Bitcoin has not created a new all-time high on BTC GBP chart or BTC Euro chart, but Bitcoin already has created a new high or a new all-time high on the BTC USDT or BTC USD chart at 123,000. Okay, I can show you multiple examples of this. So this is because of the price discrepancies, currency differences. So I'm not going to get into the details of that, but the point is that you cannot precisely predict where exactly USDT dominance, where exactly Bitcoin would be once USDT dominance goes back up to this resistance level, and that is why you need to be mainly focused on the USDT dominance chart. Okay, so uh, this is all the information that you would get from the USDT dominance chart. Short term, information is that wait for price to go back up to this level, or even if we drop back down to 4.25% level, okay, that's fine, and then we go back up to retest this resistance, that would be a very good opportunity because this is going to be the first retest. You can see the same thing around here as well. This was the first retest, this was the second retest, this was the third retest, this was the fourth retest, finally had a break below, this was the first retest, finally had a break below, sorry, finally had a break towards upside, first retest, finally had a break below. This is going to be the first retest, which would be another great opportunity. So do not miss the first retest opportunities because they are really good ones. Same is the case with the Bitcoin chart as well. The first retest at 112,000, the first retest at 73,000. You can see the similarities between these two moves and how good both of these moves actually were. Now, back to the question of 110,000, how likely it is that price on the Bitcoin chart would drop down to 110,000. Now, first of all, it really depends on the positioning of the fib levels. This is your major swing high, remember that, and this is your major swing low. Okay, that is on the daily time frame chart. This is how the charts are looking like. If I just remove all of these drawings and if I just go to the daily time frame chart, you can see that this is the chart on daily time frame. This is your impulsive wave, this is your corrective wave, this is your impulsive wave, this is your corrective wave, this is your impulsive wave, this is your corrective wave, and this is your impulsive wave. Okay, meaning that one way that you can find the length of the retracement wave is by simply just drawing the fib retracement levels from the start of impulsive wave to the end of impulsive wave. Okay, this is your major swing low, this is your major swing high, meaning that you are going to have the first move down to 108,000 level as per these major swing highs and lows. Now, I do not know if this would still be the major swing high in the next few days or not. Let's suppose Bitcoin goes on to create a new all-time high at 130,000. Let's just imagine that. We would simply just change the positioning of these major swing highs and lows. And then the 61.8% fib level would be at 110.3K level, right? But so far, the amount of information that we have is this is your major swing high, this is your major swing low. And as per this amount of information that we have, price on the Bitcoin chart is very likely to go down to 61.8 and 65% fib level, meaning a wick down to 110,000 to 105,000 is very much possible. And if you're looking to build the best possible long position on the Bitcoin chart, same is the case with Ethereum. I'm not going to waste time, explaining every single chart one by one, but same is the case with ETH as well. Okay, I would show you the chart for ETH also. I would draw the fib levels for you. I would draw the higher time frame SR levels for you, and you would notice that there is a lot of unfinished business for ETH down at 3,000 level. And based on the amount of information that we have currently available, based on the major swing highs and lows that we are looking at or we were able to find on the charts, very likely that we would have a drop down to at least 108,000, 109,000, 110,000. That is where these fib levels are. And that is where the actual continuation move would happen. Now, please do not get baited by this whole move, which just happened during the past few hours, because we have seen similar examples of this. If I would draw the fib levels from the start of impulsive wave to the end of impulsive wave, we had the first move down to 61.8% fib level. I was the one saying that this is only this is not the full move, and this would not result in a new all-time high. And this is what exactly we saw. And I was constantly pointing out the same thing during these weekly market updates that although we had a move down to 61.8% fib level, 61.8% fib level move is always a weak bounce, is always a weak rejection, right? And it would not really result in price creating a new higher high. And this is what exactly happened. We had the all-time high at 112,000. we went all the way up to 100 and almost at 111,000, but we did not have a new all-time high. Then there was a bigger move downside from 111, 110.7K to be precise, all the way down to 98.2K. And this is what exactly I was saying, pointing out through these live streams that 61.8 weak bounce, the actual bounce would happen at 65 or 70.5, 0.705 fib level. This is what we saw happened in this previous situation, that price ultimately took a few days, but price ultimately fell back down to 0.705 fib level and then went on to create a new all-time high. So even if we have these smaller moves happening, for as long as this major swing high is intact and this major swing low is intact, you would simply just draw the fib levels and you would expect the price to go back down to 108,000 approximately, which could happen at any moment, right? It may take a few days, but ultimately this is where the price has to go down to. If I take a look at and finally, one important chart that we have to, discuss here is the _stable.c.d chart. Now, if you're planning to take a long position on Bitcoin, you need to keep an eye on _stable.c.d as well. I would be more than happy to build a long position on Bitcoin, but first of all, I need to see that price has already broken below this higher time frame support on the _stable.c.d chart. You can see that this is the chart for _stable.c.d, and we have almost broken below this level. We are still, if I just try to adjust this support level slightly, you can see that we are still sitting right towards the end of this high time frame support. So if we just have 1 4-hour close below this level, around this level, then I would be confident that okay, now we can take a long position on Bitcoin. It's very likely that in the next few hours I'm going to drop a long position on Bitcoin. I would be sharing the limits on, I would be sharing the call on my Twitter account as well. So please make sure that you're following me on Twitter, 𝗟R𝘁𝗲𝗏. This is my Twitter handle, right? And if you would like to receive the actual call, more organized updates and calls, you can always join in the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. So stable.c.d is the actual missing part in this whole thing in the short term. Remember that this is all just a short term update. So in the short term, stable.c.d, if it closes a 4-hour candle just under this level, 7.35 level, then I would be comfortable taking a long position on BTC. And this is exactly what I'm waiting for. I would simply just set an alert around here, possibly after US Open. Around US Open, we are going to have another leg upside on Bitcoin, but I would simply just wait for that to happen to have a more comfortable long position. Or you can just go with the USDT dominance chart and wait for price to go back up to retest this resistance level, and that is when you can take a long position on Bitcoin. So this is all the information that you would get from the Bitcoin chart. Now over to the Ethereum chart. Very simple. If I take a look at the chart for ETH, let me remove all of these drawings and let's go to the daily time frame chart. So without complicating things any further, this is the higher time frame support on the ETH chart. So you can see that this is the higher time frame support, which has not been retested so far. This is your major swing low, right? And this is your major swing high. I don't know if a new swing high would be created in the next few hours or not, but this is the amount of information that we have right now. All we know is that this higher time frame support has not been retested so far. We have seen this happen so many times that price ultimately would fall back down to this higher time frame support and would give a decent move. So I would like to draw it starting from the 3000 level and then going all the way down to 2800 level. So this is my higher time frame support. I have adjusted it slightly. You can see that sooner or later price would go back down to retest this 3000 level, and that is when we would try to enter into a long position. And if you would draw the fib level, start of impulsive wave to the end of impulsive wave, you can see that there is still some unfinished business at 61.8% fib level. I would like to see the fib level starting from the 3000 level. Okay, starting from 3000, and for that to happen, a new major swing high has to be created, and it's very likely that it would happen. Maybe let's suppose that Ethereum goes up to 4151, and that is when you would have 61.8% fib level at 2897, meaning that there could be a wick down to this level, and that is going to be a very good opportunity to build a long position on Ethereum. Or alternatively, if we have a daily candle close above this 4000 level, above the 4100 level, 4110 to be precise, I would need a complete candle close above 4110 to be comfortable taking a long position on Ethereum. Okay, because if there is a breakout, then price needs to close decisively above this level, and I would be more than happy to buy at 4,000, but not in the middle of nowhere. This is simply just a middle of nowhere zone for me. So I am the buyer at 3,000, or I would be the buyer at 4,000 only if the reclaim of this level happens. Otherwise, I would simply just stay sidelined. We had a very good position on Ethereum, from 3,000 all the way. We had a spot position, we had a leverage position from 3,000 all the way up to 3,900. 25% of that position is still open. So yeah, I'm not going to chase the price at this moment because we are still sitting very close to resistance levels. So I would prefer waiting a little bit. And yeah, that's it from my side. If we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see that Bitcoin dominance is having a small break below this ascending trend line. I was pointing this out, when I closed one short position that I had open on DGen. We closed that short position break even, and then we immediately entered into two long positions. The first one was Morpho, which already played out to be a good one. And the second one was storage. Storage, you can see that is also having a trendline breakout, but it's trading below 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. And that is the only bad thing. Apart from that, it's looking absolutely good, storage. So, Bitcoin dominance has a decent chance of going back down to this level. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Bitcoin dominance. Where is Bitcoin dominance? So Bitcoin dominance has a decent chance of going back down to this level, to 4,000 level. Okay. And that is why I'm comfortable taking, long positions on these altcoins. It had this big deviation above this resistance level. And then we had a move under this level once again, came back up, gave a deviation retest. That is when we entered into long positions. And now we are simply just having those long positions open. I would be entering maybe one more long position on Bitcoin or maybe on an altcoin as soon as the live stream ends. So make sure that you are in the Discord server to, get access to that long position. It's very easy. All you have to do is to trade on BLOFIN. If you are already trading on BLOFIN, or if you create an account, deposit $200 or maybe $100 or more, the support staff would let you know in the support ticket. All you have to do is just join the Discord server, open up a support ticket. If you already have a BLOFIN account, just share your UID with us and we would give you access to the premium server for free, absolutely free. Okay, you don't really have to do anything. So there is a decent chance that BTC Dom, Bitcoin dominance, would move down to 4,200 level, and for that reason, I am comfortable taking long positions on these altcoins. We had a deviation, then we had the deviation retest, and same is the case with BTC.D as well. We had a deviation, then we had a deviation retest, then we had this trendline breakout, and that is why I'm just comfortable taking a long position on these altcoins. And apart from that, nothing much to update, honestly. Total 2 still, whenever Ethereum would go down to 3,000, that is when total 2 would drop down to these levels. Total 3 already retested this level. That is when you should have got into some higher market cap coins like Solana or few other higher market cap coins, because total 3 was retesting this higher time frame support, and that was the first retest on the daily time frame chart. So that was a good opportunity to build a position. But still, we are sitting at major resistance level in most of these indices, and Bitcoin also is sitting at resistance. So that is why you don't have to play the fast game. You just have to go slow. You just have to wait a little bit, be very cautious with positions that you are opening. Remember what we have been doing for the past 4 or 5 days. We had short position open, we closed it break even, we immediately jumped into two long positions, moved the stop loss break even for Morpho. We will be deciding about storage very soon. We will be waiting for the breakout above 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. So that is how you have to do it. You have to play very safe game in the month of August specifically, because now the chances of rate cuts have gone up to almost 70 to 80% during September's FOMC meeting, meaning that September anyway is going to be a very bullish month for crypto in general, for the markets in general. So that is why you don't have to play a dangerous game here. We already had an absolutely great month of July. 35 trades in a row, only 3 losses, 32 wins, was a really good month. So you don't really have to give those gains back to the market. So try to play a safe game here. Christian is saying, for how long do we get free access to the server? you would get the free access to the server for 15 days, which is essentially going to be equivalent to almost like you know spending $30 for subscription. Second Pratt is asking, Sherlock, I was asleep when BDXN hit 0.04747 with an entry point of 3775, so close to a perfect play. What's that coin, BDXN? I do not have any limits for this coin, but let's take a look at it. BDXN. It's not listed on BLOFIN, or is it? Okay, it's listed. BDXN. What's your bias on this coin? Because as far as I can see, it's still trading under this resistance level. So until and unless we have some candle close above this level, I don't really think it's a good position to enter into. Yeah, you can see that it has not even given a 4-hour candle close above this level, only VIX above this level. So I don't really think it's a good position. I would like to in fact slightly adjust the positioning of the resistance, draw it like this, and you can see that only if we have a candle close above this resistance, I would like to get into this position. Captain's most recent signal. Okay. I have no idea about this, but I would like to see a candle close above this resistance level to be confident that, okay, something is happening with the coin. I would like to play a safe game. SS Lead is asking, should we close the LDO limit order? No, you don't really have to close the limit order. You don't really have to close the limit order at 3000 Ethereum. Anything could be happening. This is crypto, right? Anything could be happening. Can we check Sonic? Sonic, we have a position open on Sonic. That's a spot position. We are keeping that open. I have not had time to really look at it. This does not look all that great. Yeah, if let me tell you something. If a position has been given by some other analyst, they may have a totally different reasoning behind that position. If you would ask me that, does this position is this position making any sense to you? This signal was given by Neil, who is an excellent analyst. I have mad respect for him. He gives great calls, but I would not really be able to give you a definitive answer on that. I would probably say that, okay, this position is not making any sense to me, but ultimately it would turn out to be a very good play. So it's not really, until and unless we're talking about Bitcoin. Even with Bitcoin also, you would see that you would ask 10 different traders and they would have 10 different opinions, and all 10 of these people, they would be really good at what they're doing. So it's, this is the thing with market. Everybody has their own opinion, but I usually trade based on SR levels. So for me, a complete candle close above this level is a really important one to get into this position on BDXN. Same is the case with Bitcoin as well. I just like explained that, you would need a complete candle close above this trend line maybe to just further confirm this position. LTC. Let's take a look at LTC. And by the way, once again, 50 plus people watching the live stream, only 32 of you have liked it. Once again, I would really appreciate if all of you are just able to like the live stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel. LTC. This is one of the slowest moving coins. I usually always avoid trading LTC because LTC, XMR, and there is this other coin, I forgot the name of it. They're always slow to move. But LTC had, you can see that a trendline breakout, then break above resistance, retest. That was a good opportunity. And this is the next resistance level for LTC, meaning that it can easily go back up to almost $145. So I'm not interested in trading this coin because, as I said, it's a very slow moving coin, and it has been moving in the same range. You can see that since last 2 years. So I usually avoid trading these kind of coins. XMR, LTC, these are very slow moving coins. But in this situation, price can easily go back up to $145. But right now, the first retest, that was the only opportunity to get into this position. We already missed that opportunity, so I would simply just skip this one. But trading above support, trading above 1-day 12 period exponential moving average, I'm sure it's trading above some other important dynamic lines. Yeah, 1-day quarterly VWAP, meaning that it's looking good, but still, not the kind of coin that I would like to trade. SS Lead is saying, can you do a favor and look at ski mask dog? I have in spot, but price goes up, comes down, but I'm not able to book profits. Just waiting for all time high again. You know, you guys have been thinking too much about ski mask. Okay, the reason is because, sorry, uh, I literally forgot. Okay, ski. So, you know, I'm saying that you guys have been like, you know, thinking too much about this coin. It's not just the case with ski, it's the case with every other coin that, you know, they are trading around the same levels that they were trading at almost an year ago or almost 2 years ago. So you would have to give the whole market some time to completely play out. Okay, this was my play for ski mask. You can see that it's trading at the support level. So if you wish to DC into this trade, you can do so. If you already have the position open, you can do so. If you do not have the position open, you can buy around here, but you need to give it some time to completely play out. Okay. I just showed you the example for storage as well. That's a very popular coin. Morpho as well. I can show you countless examples that most of these coins are trading around the same levels. So you would have to essentially give these coins some time to completely play out. It's not going to be easy. And ski mask dog is it's an excellent meme coin, and I am myself personally invested in this coin. I'm holding this on CoinX exchange. I specially made because this one is listed on Mexi. This one was listed on Mexi at that time, so I specifically made an account on CoinX, did the KYC, and I bought ski mask, you know, on that exchange. And apart from that, I've never really traded on that exchange. So yeah, you know, ski mask, it's sitting at support, and you know, these are the next resistance levels. You can take a picture of this, you can take a screenshot, and you know, try to take profits around these resistance levels. The first one is at 0.080, the second one is around 11 cents, and the third resistance is around 17 cents. Okay, so you would have to wait for price to, you know, reclaim these levels one by one slowly. It's not going to be easy because it's literally the same thing with every other coin. John Matrix is asking, if you knew the region was going to be look if you knew the region was going to be a good bounce region, why didn't you take the long? This is what I have been explaining, John Matrix. If you joined a bit late, you would know what I'm talking about. I was planning to take that long position, but because USDT dominance, this is a chart for USDT dominance, because USDT dominance did not tap 4.63 resistance level. So unfortunately, I was not able to get into that. Uh, yeah, that was the first retest of 112K. That was indeed a very good opportunity. But for some reason, I just wanted an extra confluence. I just wanted USDT dominance to retest this resistance level. And sometimes this is a huge drawback that you face when you are looking for the picture perfect entry. So just to wait for a picture perfect entry, otherwise, honestly speaking, it would not have made any sense. I mean, you know, it would not have made any difference if I was entering at 112K or maybe at 111K. That was only $1,000 difference. But for some reason, I just wanted a deeper retracement into this level on the USDT dominance chart. And I just could not press the long buy button. I just could not press the long trigger and somehow completely missed out on this move. But yeah, I'm okay with that. You know, you just cannot, you know, blame the market. You cannot just blame yourself. You cannot always make the right decision. And, you know, sometimes no trade is also the best trade. And we already have been taking, and at that time, I was already in two, three long positions. I was already in a few short positions that were going good. I was in Bitcoin short as well. I was in a few other short positions that were going good at that time. So I don't really have any regrets on that. Do you use any AI programs to help you trade? No, not really. I don't think that any AI program would be able to help you to make these subjective decisions. Most of these decisions, they're highly subjective, and I don't really think that you know, any AI agent or any AI program would be able to help you in this regard. And by the way, guys, I'm thinking about opening a long position on Bitcoin as soon as we have a small candle close, 4 hour candle close below this level. You can see that this is all I want. This is exactly what I'm waiting for, this kind of candle close. So as soon as we have just one 4 hour candle close, something which would look something like this, as soon as we have this, we would simply just get into long position on Bitcoin, which is ultimately going to be a trendline breakout. Okay. Sorry about this. Time to nap. No, it's not time to nap. It's just time for the New York Open. About your mentorship plan, is it a one-on-one whenever possible or just recorded and organized data from your side? No, no, it's one-on-one mentorship. We have lectures every single week on Friday, sometimes on Thursday as well, around 12 p.m., 1 p.m. UK time. And every single lecture is being recorded. It's a complete course outline as well that we have to follow. And every single lecture is being recorded, and then you are given the user logins for the website. Then the video recordings and all the resources they're uploaded on website. You would get your specific logins for the website, and you would be able to access user data there. So yeah, that is how it works. Govind is asking, could you please talk a bit about the mentorship program in the Discord? I'm new to crypto and very interested in the program. Yes, I'll be more than happy to guide you guys on the mentorship program. I would recommend that you guys join the Discord server, open up a support ticket, because I cannot send the PDF here. I would be able to send you guys, the support staff would be able to help you, send you guys uh the course outline PDF. You can take a look at it. We are already almost at the 35th or the 40th lecture. We are the mentorship would be completed, would be finalized when there are 300 plus videos. So yeah, it's going to be a really extensive program. And the good part is that it's a lifetime program, meaning that you only have to buy it once, and then you can simply just have access to all the information, all the next batch recordings, all the live lectures, all the resources, indicators, scripts, books, everything for lifetime. So it's just a complete program. And Captain, Saltway, Delta, Juni, Avili, all of these students, they have completed the mentorship, and now they're working as full-time analysts in different communities. Soul as well. He's a very good analyst, although he's busy with his real life work as well. So yeah, I'm actually very happy about these people, very proud that all of these people, they learned from mentorship and now they are working as full-time analysts, they are profitable. And yeah, I would highly recommend that if you guys are struggling with trading, although I do not explicitly promote my mentorship program, but if you are someone who's struggling with trading, I mean, this could be a really good start for you. Everything is already explained in detail throughout these live streams as well. But if you're looking to have access to more organized course and everything, more organized updates and everything, you can simply just join the mentorship program, because that is where you would get access to all of the information in the most organized form possible. And the best part is that it's for lifetime. You wouldn't just have to pay anything on monthly basis. You can simply just have access to information for the lifetime, just for one time payment. uh, just asking, I see ETH is at rejection supply zone. Can we able to short? No, I'm not really thinking about shorting ETH because it's an uptrend. My rules are very simple. You trade at SR levels, and you trade at the time of first retest. You only trade when there is a deviation, above resistance or below support. So there is no such thing happening with ETH right now. And the most important part is trend. I'm not someone who would like to go against the trend. I guess we have discount offer going on mentorship program. So maybe you can just join the Discord server, and you can inquire about it. The support staff, they would be able to help you on this. Okay, I guess there is a decent discount going on mentorship. So lifetime mentorship, access to everything. In fact, you get free access to Foxian's Discord as well for 1 month. Yes, it's I guess 850 USD for lifetime. We'll take it after making some money in bull run. Don't have funds. That's okay. That's completely fine. You guys can just, as I said, I do not explicitly promote my mentorship program. I do not say that you cannot be successful if you do not join my mentorship program. Yes, you can be, but it's just for people who are lost a bit, and who would just like to have access to more organized information. Yeah, there could be installments thing as well. I don't know. You would have to join the Discord server, open up a support ticket, and that's where we will guide you. Don't worry about it. Even if you are not able to pay the payment in one go, there are discounts offers going on and everything, and you can avail that. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you still have any questions, you can just reply to any of my tweets on my Twitter account, And finally, once again, I would request all of you to please join the Discord server. Uh, it's not just for the calls. Even if you would like to have access to all of these market updates, information, insights that are being shared not just by me but by other analysts also, it's very important that you join the Discord server. And you can also claim the membership for free if you have a BLOFIN account, if you're actively trading on BLOFIN. Also, I would be sharing, most likely, I would be taking this long position on Bitcoin as soon as we have a 4-hour candle close below this level. This is what exactly I'm waiting for, something like this, one candle close. Uh, Please make sure to like this live stream. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not following me over Twitter, 𝗟𝘅𝗲𝗏, this is my Twitter handle. Uh, I share calls, updates, market updates over my Twitter account as well. All the links you can find in the description of this video. Thank you so much for joining. Take care and have a great week ahead. Thank you.